Let's move on. Jake Paul calls out Sean Strickland. Now, this is kind of important. Jake Paul calls out Sean Strickland, and I have the message in the Twitter message that he had tweeted to him, and it says, Sean Strickland, you're embarrassing for trying to stop Sneeko like that. You weren't even able to drop someone with no experience while going all out. You're a hard boxer that only picks on inexperienced people. He said, I will fly you to Puerto Rico and we can fight on camera. If you win, I'll give you $1 million, half of your net worth. But if you get dropped, you have to get better. His new company he's been doing for sports betting, better, BETR, tattooed on you. DM me. But just like Patty, I'm guessing you'll find a way to run. If you don't know Patty's this very interesting fighter that a lot of people have watched in the UFC. He's very entertaining. And basically, Jake Paul calls him out and he goes, hey, listen, I'll give you $1 million, half of your net worth. If you can knock him, if you can knock Jake Paul out, you get that. That is something that I got to tell you, Sean Strickland should consider, half of your net worth. But what I want to talk about right now, and why this is so important, is what has Jake Paul done? And people that are watching this right now, look, I've mentioned Jake Paul a couple times over the last couple years. I think this is important to understand. Jake Paul, when I first saw him on there as a YouTuber trying to fight, it was like, this guy's kind of corny, whatever, yeah, I don't know, yada, yada, yada. I don't really know if Jake Paul's going to be able to fight people. Then he fought like a little basketball player. Then he fought a guy that was in UFC. He wasn't really a fighter. And then he starts knocking out UFC champions, people that were great wrestlers, great fighters. I mean, they weren't quote-unquote boxers, but he was doing his thing. Whether you hate on Jake Paul or not, I come on here and I tell the truth. I'll give an unbiased opinion. I'm not jealous that Jake Paul's making hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever he's making, all this kind of money. I like what he's doing for sports, advocating for people to go out there and do what you want. Don't sit back, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're doing something else, get out there and do what you want. Jake Paul's doing that. And I got to tell you, he went from being a YouTuber to this guy right here. I mean, this guy, when I look at this guy, and if you're in the chat right now, do you like Jake Paul? Is he a real boxer? You could be honest in the chat right now. Is Jake Paul a real boxer or is he just a clown? Like that really? I mean, at the end of the day, clown or not, what he's doing for sports, what he's doing for just entertainment purposes, he's bringing people up. He has a sports betting app, Better, which is great, but he's bringing people that are behind him. Hey, you want to be a boxer? You're great. I'll put you front stage. He's calling people out, selling tickets, pay-per-views, money. People are making more money fighting Jake Paul than they will sometimes, and it could be a UFC championship bout because Jake Paul is bringing the viewership. So a lot of people that are watching Jake Paul, clown or not a clown, is putting butts in seats like Taylor Swift puts butts in seats, right? Like Lamar Jackson puts butts in seats, like famous celebrities put butts in seats. That is what Jake Paul does, and that's where the money comes from. So all these people that are out there that are like, I don't really like Jake Paul. He's not that good of a fighter. He's boxing clowns, or he's a clown. Yeah, that might be true. People might think that, but the training that goes into it. Relocating from California, moving to Puerto Rico, living there full time, getting a house, training, getting the best people around him to train him, to run on a daily basis, to make this happen. He calls out Sean Strickland for a reason, and I believe they keep spelling Sean's name different. So I just keep switching it too. S-H-A-W-N or S-E-A-N. Keep seeing all different places. Don't really care. But he calls out Sean Strickland. And so as I'm watching the conversation of these two fighters, it's like they need to fight. But should Jake Paul fight in the UFC? That's what I want to know. Do you guys want to see Jake Paul fight in the UFC? That's where the money's going to come in. Him fighting in boxing is great, and yeah, boxing makes more money. I understand that. If you can get Jake Paul to fight in the UFC, you're talking people want to see Jake Paul get his ass beat, right? And the UFC's not just boxing. UFC is kicking, it's grappling, it's on the canvas. It's gruesome. It's a bloody sport. I mean, it's going to be something that people would want to do. So if I'm Sean Strickland, I'm going, hey, how about this? if you fight me in the UFC, I'll give you $1 million, right? Like, that is where the conversation should go. And I think that's something that people should promote. Jake Paul in the UFC would be the most dominant fight to watch because there would be so many people watching that pay-per-view. You can put that to $199. From 69 or 79, put it at $199 because most of the world hates Jeff Paul. That's why you see F Jake Paul all the time. Hey guys, thanks for watching and tuning into the Brandon Mason Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.